Count Dracula. Centuries ago, I asked God for one favor. I will fight in his...
Dracula is shaping up to be one of the most anticipated Gothic horror reimaginings in recent years, bringing the legendary vampire back to the big screen with a darker, more emotionally layered vision. Rather than simply retelling a familiar monster tale, this version aims to explore the tragic humanity behind the myth. The film revisits the timeless figure of Count Dracula not only as a creature of the night but as a symbol of obsession, immortality, loneliness, and forbidden desire. With modern cinematic technology and a strong dramatic focus, the movie attempts to balance spectacle with psychological depth. The overview of this new adaptation centers on reintroducing Dracula as both terrifying and tragic. The story dives into the origins of the vampire legend, portraying a once-human figure whose transformation into a creature of darkness is rooted in pain, loss, and defiance against fate. Unlike purely horror-driven versions, this film leans heavily into dark fantasy and romance, showing how immortality becomes both a curse and a prison. The tone is Gothic, atmospheric, and emotionally intense, blending grand castle settings, shadow-filled corridors, and stormy landscapes with intimate character-driven moments. The cast brings together a mix of established and rising talents. The actor portraying Dracula delivers a performance that balances menace with vulnerability, presenting a character who can shift from charming aristocrat to terrifying predator within seconds. The female lead plays a pivotal role as a symbol of hope, memory, or lost love, depending on how viewers interpret the narrative layers. Supporting characters include hunters, scholars, and villagers, each adding tension and moral conflict to the unfolding story. Their performances ground the supernatural elements in human fear and determination. Plot details reveal that the story unfolds across multiple timelines, connecting Dracula's human past with his present existence as an immortal being. The transformation sequence is portrayed not merely as a horror moment but as a tragic turning point. The narrative explores themes of sacrifice and the consequences of attempting to escape mortality. As Dracula navigates the modern or semi-modern world, his presence leaves a trail of mystery and dread. The central conflict arises when those who understand his true nature attempt to confront him, forcing a clash between ancient darkness and human resilience. Visually, the film emphasizes Gothic aesthetics. Massive stone castles rise against stormy skies, candlelit halls glow with ominous shadows, and moonlit landscapes create a haunting atmosphere. The costume design reflects both aristocratic elegance and decaying immortality. Dracula's wardrobe evolves subtly throughout the film, symbolizing his internal transformation. Special effects enhance the supernatural elements, shape-shifting, unnatural speed, glowing eyes, and atmospheric mist without overshadowing the emotional tone of the story. The trailer sparked significant conversation among horror fans. Rather than revealing too much action, it focused on mood. Slow camera movements through dark corridors, glimpses of blood-red skies, and brief shots of Dracula's piercing gaze built suspense. The music blended orchestral intensity with eerie silence, reinforcing the tragic and romantic undertones. Early reactions highlighted the film's commitment to Gothic authenticity while appreciating its modern cinematic polish. The release strategy positions the film as a major horror event. Its timing aligns with audiences seeking darker, atmospheric experiences. Marketing materials emphasize not just horror but epic storytelling. Posters feature dramatic contrasts between shadow and light, reinforcing the duality within Dracula's character. The campaign suggests that this is not simply another vampire movie, but a cinematic exploration of immortality and obsession. Thematically, the film delves deeply into loneliness. Dracula's immortality isolates him from humanity, forcing him to watch generations rise and fall. His longing for connection becomes both his weakness and his curse. The story questions whether eternal life is a gift or a punishment. Through emotional dialogue and symbolic imagery, the film portrays immortality as a burden heavier than death itself. Redemption becomes a subtle undercurrent, raising the possibility that even a monster may seek forgiveness. Music plays a powerful role in shaping the mood. A sweeping orchestral score accompanies grand scenes, while quieter piano and string arrangements highlight emotional vulnerability. Moments of silence amplify tension, especially during encounters between Dracula and his adversaries. Sound design enhances every movement, the flutter of bats, the echo of footsteps in empty halls, and the chilling resonance of Dracula's voice. Action sequences are intense yet carefully paced. Confrontations between Dracula and those hunting him combine physical combat with psychological warfare. The vampire's powers are displayed in controlled bursts, ensuring that his presence remains intimidating. Rather than constant chaos, the film builds suspense gradually, allowing fear to grow through atmosphere and anticipation. Behind the scenes, the production focuses on practical sets enhanced by digital effects. Real locations are combined with CGI to create immersive Gothic landscapes. Makeup and prosthetics add realism to transformation scenes, while digital enhancements refine supernatural details. This blend of old and new filmmaking techniques supports the story's theme of ancient legend meeting modern cinema. Audience anticipation grew steadily following promotional reveals. Longtime fans of vampire lore are intrigued by the darker, more emotional approach. Casual viewers are drawn by the promise of epic visuals and dramatic storytelling. Discussions online often revolve around comparisons to earlier adaptations, with many expressing hope that this version captures the literary depth of the original legend, while offering something visually fresh. Culturally, Dracula remains one of the most enduring figures in horror history. This adaptation acknowledges that legacy while seeking to reinterpret it for contemporary audiences. By focusing on tragedy and psychological complexity, the film positions itself as both homage and reinvention. It highlights the timeless fascination with immortality and the fear of what lies beyond death. As updates continue to emerge, the creative team emphasizes respect for the myth while embracing creative freedom. Interviews suggest a deliberate effort to balance horror with emotional storytelling. The goal is not simply to frighten but to immerse viewers in a haunting, poetic narrative. Early test screenings reportedly generated strong emotional reactions, particularly during the film's climactic moments. Ultimately, Dracula aims to transcend typical genre boundaries. It presents horror not only through blood and darkness, but through heartbreak and longing. The character's struggle against his own nature mirrors broader human fears about loss and eternity. By blending Gothic grandeur, intense performances, and thematic depth, the film seeks to deliver a cinematic experience that lingers long after the credits roll. If successful, it may redefine how modern audiences perceive the legendary vampire, proving that even centuries-old myths can feel alive, relevant, and emotionally powerful in today's cinematic landscape.